Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of In the Kitchen with Sandy. And on today's episode, I am going to be showing you how to make cabbage rolls. Very simple to make, very delicious, just requires just not a whole lot of ingredients. But once you put them all together, it's absolutely amazing. So let's get started. I guess I better tell you, I have no cameraman or camerawoman today, so we're just going to have to wing this. I'm going to do the best I can on my own, but I wanted to make these today. I've been wanting to make these for weeks now, and I'm ready to make them. So let's get started. Okay, the ingredients that you will be using will be a hamburger or ground chuck. I like to use ground chuck. This is about 2.5 pounds of ground chuck. You are going to need sauerkraut. You're going to need some chili sauce, some toothpicks. This is about 3 large cloves of garlic, just finely chopped. And here we have about 1.5 teaspoons of granulated onion salt, 1.5 teaspoons of onion powder, 1 egg, and this is about 1.5 cups of rice, 1 pound of sausage. This is just regular, like breakfast sausage. A large can of your diced tomatoes, some hot sauce, some V8, and of course some crushed brown pepper. And I'm going to take you over to the stove because I have a large head of cabbage that I had brought to a boil, and I boiled this for about 20 to 25 minutes. You want to boil it till the leaves start peeling off of it. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to pull this out, and I'm gonna let it cool, and then I'm gonna start cutting the leaves off, and then we'll get started. Okay, first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take a large bowl, and by the way, I'm cooking mine in one of the bigger crock pots, the oval shaped ones. I'm not using the oven today. You can cook them in the oven certainly, but I've worked all night, and I'm going to put these together, and then I'm just going to let them cook away, and I'm going to bed. In your bowl, you are going to add your hamburger, or your ground chuck, call it whatever you want to call it, and you are also going to add your sausage. Put it right in there. The combination of these two make them absolutely amazing. When you mix them together, it doesn't have to be equal parts, just, you know, little of this, little of that. And then you want to add your granulated garlic and your onion salt. Sprinkle that right in there. Add your garlic, your finely chopped garlic, and these are garlicky, but I'm telling you, they are amazing. And then you're going to want to add your chili sauce. Well, let's get it open. Just pour that in there. Well, I may need a spoon for this. Let's see if I can shake it in there. There it goes. You want to go ahead and add the whole jar, and this makes it so wonderful, so flavorful. And then you're going to add your egg, and your hot sauce. And I'm going to post the exact amounts at the end of this video because I don't do well by measuring on stuff like this. I just have to eyeball it. So, and the hot sauce is not going to bring heat to it. It's just going to bring a lot of flavor to it. So by all means, do not leave that out just because you think it might, you know, be too hot for you or what have you, because it is not hot. It's amazing. And I'm just mixing this with my hands because that's what I do. Just want to mix it up real good, just till everything's nice and combined. Make sure your hands are clean. Nobody likes a dirty cabbage roll. And we're just going to continue to mix this until I've got it all incorporated. Okay, I've got that mixed really well, or most of the way. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and add my rice. Make sure you don't touch anything that's not going to be washed, real soon. So don't go touching the refrigerator or anything with your hands like this, but this is okay. You don't want a whole lot of rice in there because rice is really not the star of this dish. It's the sauerkraut and the mixture of the ground beef and the sausage. It's definitely the star of the show here. So the rice just gives it a little bit of an extra bite to it. Makes it absolutely delicious. Now I've ate them before with no rice in them, but I prefer rice in mine. But if you don't want the rice, by all means, you don't have to put rice in there. But I wouldn't have them any other way. So go ahead and add that in there, and we're going to go ahead and mix this again until it's all incorporated. And then I'm going to show you, I've already pulled my cabbage out, and I'm letting it cool. I'm letting it drain. Again, I boiled that for, about 20 to 25 minutes until the leaves started getting tender on it. And if you only knew what I had to go through today to make these, it's just been kind of crazy, but I'm making them because I like them. Okay, now that is really incorporated. Just give it a squeeze. Wonderful, wonderful. And again, I apologize for no cameraman or camera girl, but everybody's in bed. It's still early in the morning. I wanted to get these on. I've worked all night, put 13 long hours in. And, just a little FYI, I'm a nurse. I'm a night shift nurse. We night shift nurses rock, that's for sure. Okay, now I'm going to go wash my hands, and then we will proceed. Okay, I've got my hands all washed. Now I'm going to show you how to get your cabbage prepared for your cabbage rolls. It's really, really simple. Again, you just bring it to a boil, and you put it in a large pot, and you let it boil for about 20-25 minutes till the leaves start getting nice and tender on it. So I'm going to set the camera down now. Again, I apologize for no cameraman or camera woman, but like I said, this is such a good recipe, and I really wanted to make these today. So like I said, we're just going to wing it. So let me go ahead and show you what we're going to do next. We're going to take our cabbage, and the easiest way to do this is to just cut that stalk right off there. That's the easiest way, and your water is just going to drain right out of it. Make sure you wash your cabbage really good. So we're just going to start. I got to get my glasses on for this. So we're just going to start peeling away. Now don't worry, the first layer of the cabbage is really not the greatest, so you can just go ahead and peel that away. Don't worry about trying to use that. So you're just going to kind of gently loosen the leaves. This can be quite challenging, but it is doable. It's definitely doable. You're going to find that they're just going to start falling into place. And if you rip some, that's quite all right. That's what we can put them back together with toothpicks. Look at that, how nicely that one came. Now, if you don't want this, see how thick this stem is. If you don't want that big stem in your cabbage rolls, you can take it and just slice it this way and take some of that out if you want. I really don't care because I'm going to cook mine long enough to where every bit of it's going to be tender. You just kind of just peel it apart there. See, once you get it loosened up, it all starts just coming apart. I'm going to finish getting my leaves ready, and then we'll start rolling them up. Okay, got all my leaves ready. wasn't very hard to do. So if you just, you know, kind of slice it down like I told you to, they come apart quite beautifully. Look at that. Some are larger than the other ones. The closer you get down to the stalk, the smaller they get. But we're going to go ahead and use these. We'll just make smaller cabbage rolls. But hey, the more the merrier is what I say. Use every bit of that cabbage. What I've done is I went ahead and added some black pepper to my mix because I forgot to add that in. So I've already mixed that together. And what I had said, make sure you don't cross-contaminate. So make sure that you have your toothpicks out. And available to you. You don't want to be dipping down into your box with your hands contaminated. So here's what we're going to do. You're going to take your nice, I hope you can see pretty good. Take you a nice helping of the meat. And you're just going to roll it over. Kind of like diapering a baby. No, I'm kidding. I guess you could look at it that way, and you're just going to stick your toothpick in there. I like to do mine sideways. It kind of holds them together a little bit better. And if you need to put 2 toothpicks in there, go right ahead, put 2. And then that's what you do. And then I'm going to continue to roll these until we get them all rolled. Let me show you another one just for quick reference. Get you a nice chunk of meat. Just stick it in there and you roll it up. This one I can use a little bit more. You know, use your eye judgment to see. You don't want to overstuff them, but you certainly don't want to understuff them. And then just kind of, you know, bend the cabbage up into a cabbage roll. You roll it any way you want to roll it. I mean, it doesn't, as long as you get it together. It doesn't have to be rolled a specific way. You know, you might have to use 2 or 3 toothpicks to keep them together. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to continue to roll these, and then we're going to place them into the crock pot, and then we'll add the rest of the ingredients. Okay, I've got all my cabbage rolls rolled up. I'm going to add a couple more toothpicks to a couple of them. And what we're going to do, before we put the last layer inside of our pan, we're going to go ahead and add some of our sauerkraut. We're not going to add all of it. Go ahead and use your fingers because you want to make sure that you know, you get layers of goodness all throughout. You don't want all the sauerkraut just cooking on the top. So go ahead and add some of it then. And we're going to add just a little bit of our V8 juice. And I like to use the V8 juice because it has so many other different flavors with it. So you're going to add, make sure I have the V8. Add a little bit of that. I also want to add to that about half of my tomatoes, juice and all. And then you're just going to go ahead and add the rest of your cabbage rolls. That's okay. They are going to overflow, but that's okay. You want to cram them all in there so you get every bit of them. And then you're going to add the rest of your sauerkraut. And that's full to the brown, isn't it? And then we're going to add some more of our tomatoes. And that's it. And then you're going to set them in your, put them in your crock pot, turn them on high, and we are going to cook them about, I don't know, maybe 6 hours or so. I don't know, come check on them, and then I'll show you what they look like when they're done.